I'm Connor Tierney, I'm 26 years of age, soon to be 27 in November. I'm a part-time bare knuckle boxer, full-time quantity surveyor. I'm a father of 3 kids and I'm from Birmingham. So, growing up as a kid, I grew up in Weoley Castle, and it's what I mention on my fights. You'll see it at the end, I'll go, big up Weoley Castle! But Weoley Castle, Birmingham, it's in South Birmingham. It's a low income area, it's not the greatest. It's an area classed as a rough area, it's not a posh area, but it's my home and it's where I love. I love everyone in it. No, it's, since I was a little kid, I grew up on a road called Somerford Road, played football on the streets, had police chases on the square club, and there's so many memories now when I drive around and get to still live here at the age of 27, but still be doing the things that I'm doing without having to, like, a lot of people think you have to move away to achieve what you want to do, but I've done it still living here, and it's nice, and I'm going to give a bit back to the community as well, hopefully, in the future. That's one of my plans. What it gave me as a fighter growing up round Weoley Castle was, there's kids that are street and there's kids that are not street, and being street means, you know, 8 years of age, going to the shops with my mates, fighting each other on the ground. I mean, oh God, I had that many fights when I was a kid. Well, I remember my mum, right, yeah, I used to get beat up and I'd run back to my mum, my mum and dad would be like, get back out there now, and smack him, you weren't not going to lose that, you get back out there, and, you know, you smash his head in, and that's what life was, back then. It wasn't, it's hard to explain. Life as a young kid in Weoley Castle, it was like you had to look after yourself, and I think that's why I'm so independent as myself now, because I basically, as much as my mum and dad raised me, you sort of raise yourself as a street kid out there. It's a different world being a kid. I mean, times have changed now. There weren't no mobile phones, there weren't no iPhones back then, so we could text each other. You knocked on your mate's door if you wanted to go out and play. If you had a straightener with someone, you know, you passed the message on to his best mate and you told him to meet you at the Green Hill or on the Weoley Castle Square for a certain time, and you'd wait there with your mates. And they're the times that made me tough and made me what we are. Made everyone that lives there what we are and what I am now. So I owe a lot to Weoley Castle, and I think with a good future, hopefully, and a good bit of money out of it, I hope to open an actual boxing gym in the heart of Weoley Castle, and to bring kids off the street or away from the computers and phones, and give them something, to give them a bit of a purpose, give them a bit of a drive, you know what I mean? Give them a bit of discipline, let them understand what it's like to be a boxer. They can do football, they can do this, but it's a different community in a boxing gym. You know, everyone's like family, they become your family, and it'll be nice to give that back to the area that I grew up in. Originally I started boxing when I was 8 years old, amateur boxing. I've had 48 amateur fights. I fought in 2018 in the Midlands semi-finals, and I actually lost. I got stopped, and I retired, knocked it on the head. Thought, I'm not doing it again. And then halfway the year, this prize fighter tournament come up for bare knuckle boxing. I thought, oh, I fancy that. So I know my friend had already boxed on it, and me being me, I've always wanted some fame and limelight and attention, and I said, oh yeah, O2, that looks good, everything looks great. And I applied. They got back to me, they announced and was like, yeah, you're through, you can, you know, we like your footage and we'll sign you up. So I was like, okay, cool. So the first fight I fought, and I boxed out my skin, absolutely, like, just boxed the guy's head off, dropped him a couple of times, you know, brilliant fight, won on points, looked fantastic. Second fight straight after I lost, I got knocked out really bad. Don't really remember much of the knockout, just remember looking at the O2 and going, scratching my head, looking at my coach at the time and then going, what's happened? And he went, you've been knocked out, mate. And I went, oh, you're fucking joking. And I was like, oh shit. So I thought, what can you do? I went into the changing room, like in the medic room, and I'm getting looked at, and I remember just sitting there and I'm thinking, oh, my head's gone here, I don't know what's going on. And yeah, a couple of days after they had a phone, I literally messaged them, said, look, promoters, I said, look, I want to fight again. It was like, stretch soon. I was like, yeah, soon, I want to get back into it. After that, I fought a guy called Cullen. I dropped him twice and beat him on points. I fought 2 people in the same night after that as a last minute stand-in. I lost a stone in 3 weeks, and when I won a prize fighter title with 1 technical knockout in the first fight, They retired in the corner. And then the second fight was one of the best knockouts in history. In second round.
Oh, shot! That's the end of the fight, son. What a shot! What a shot! No,
what a shot that is! What a shot!
Yeah, what a shot! Beautifully timed.
And then I was a bit of a star around the area. I was like, yeah, everyone loved me, and I was like running around. I thought it was this little McGregor. So yeah, you prize fighter champ, you're the champ, I'm the champ. You know what I mean? Going in the bar, free beer here, free beer there. You know, it was good times as well. And then I went off the rails a bit, and I was a bit. I was not binge drinking, taking drugs, living a lifestyle that wasn't what a professional athlete was doing. I was living with my sister, so I split with my partner, and yeah, I was just went a bit downhill. And I think my attention and everything that I wanted to put into place was to be this little sesh head, going out every weekend and every week and every day. And we got the furlough, the lockdown, and I was drinking every night, and I put a lot of weight on, and I got a bit depressed. And obviously that was my own doing. I'd fell into that trap of not wanting to. I was lazy, not motivated. I wasn't training anymore. And the year went on, and I thought I'm not going to fight again. I'm not going to fight again now. So we got to like November time, and I say November, about September, October, I started dating my current partner now. She sort of got me on track, Natalie, and come November we got together, and in December I started training again. I started getting the love for it, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to get back in the gym. I'm going to start training and start looking at a date. And I said, look, if I want to fight again, it's got to be a world title, it's got to be some sort of big title, and I've just won a prize fight. I'm back off a heavy session, and you know, making myself just living a really poor shit life, and you know, it is what it is. Though I've done it, I lived it, I enjoyed it at the time. I moved on from it now, and yeah, so me and Natalie obviously like together, and I'm a single father of 3 kids as well. So she has had to sort of take a role in my life where she's had to sort of take these kids on, and they're not hers, but she's done a great job of it. And I thought, you know what, I want to better my life. And I remember putting a post down here in Fitness Factory and saying, in this gym, I was saying on a Facebook status once, I said, I'm going to be bare knuckle boxing world champion this time next year. Anyway, come January, the promoters rang me and was like, look, we've got a fight for you here. You're going to fight a rematch against a guy I'd already beat. I said, look, I'll rematch him for the vacant world title. So it was like, okay, Sam. So they made that fight, and I went back into camp. I think I was 90 kilo, which is 190 pound, and I got down to 175. So I lost 15 pound. I don't know if I'm right about that, but I know I lost a lot of weight. Stripped down, done an 8-week camp, solid. A lot of sacrifices you have to make. People don't understand. Bare knuckle boxing's a completely different game to boxing. You're training in gloves to fight bare knuckle, and when people talk to me, they go, "How do you train for a bare knuckle fight?" And it's like, you just train. As me, as a boxer, I know I'm good. I'm technically good. I'm well, great footwork. You know, really good on my feet, good on my hands, fast, sharp, slick. So I just carry on doing what I'm doing. I just implement my boxing. But the thing is, the difference is the distance on the glove here. You don't get that. It's here. And when you put your hands up with gloves and you block shots, you block them on the gloves. When you put your hands up in bare knuckle, you get hit. It hurts now. Imagine getting punched in the palm. Punch yourself in the palm. Punch yourself in the forearm there. It hurts. And it's a different ball game, and the training's different. It's 2-minute rounds. It's high paced. It's not 3-minute rounds, and it was a 7-round fight. This, and I as much as I won the fight, my face was busted up pretty bad. I remember I come back and I won, and my girlfriend and all my family, and mum, dad, brothers, sisters, all together, and had all of the drink in the house. And I remember coming back at about 5:30, 6, because we was in Bolton. My fight was 1 o'clock in the morning to suit an American audience, and I remember coming back, my eyes were like that. I remember I had blood, 2 cuts here, was stuck, my eyes were stuck together, so I could like literally look like that. I looked like I'd just been stung by a bee on both eyes. And it was horrible, the pain. I remember just feeling the pain in my hands. feeling the pain in my face, and I remember just no emotion. Like everyone's trying to have pictures of me, and I'm like just covered in blood and stuff. And I couldn't even get a smile. I'd had my lips punched in because it's bare knuckle on my teeth. My lips were in tatters. It was just sad, really, when I look back at it, and I think I don't know why I want to keep doing it. But I think it's just that you got to have that inner madness in you to do that sport, to actually carry on and continue. You get a lot of people that want it, they'll try it, they'll do one fight and they'll never go back to it. And I see a lot of people do that, but with me, I think this is where I found my feet now. People go pro, go gloved, go pro. There's no point going pro. I'm going to run the game as a bare knuckle boxer. I'm going to take over. I've done it in the UK. You know, there's probably still unfinished business I can come back in the future and do, or if it comes to America. But right now, I've signed to America, and I'm about to take over America. I'm about to be the new face of the sport, and they don't know it yet. And some people will love me, some people will hate me. I'm going to be the face of the game over there, and I know I am. And I've manifested this situation now, so yeah, I'm ready. I'm more than ready. I think this is my time now. I'm 27 in November. I reckon I'm going to give myself a good 3 years to the age of 30, come straight into my prime. When I'm just declining, that's when it's hang it up. I hang up the fists like that. But yeah, no, I think knock it on the head in 2 or 3 years' time. Just get as much as what I can out of it. It's never gonna meet my expectations financially, because it's still a game where it's still growing, and that marketable money is not there yet, in my opinion. But to do it in the early days, to do what I'm doing now and become the person I am now, and improve myself and become this great bare knuckle fighter across the globe, where, I'm not saying I want kids to grow up thinking they want to be a bare knuckle boxer, but kids to look up and think, you know what, he's an inspiration. And look, kids look at McGregor. You know, he's loud. He's boisterous, he's cocky, but he's got a swagger, and everyone loves him. And that's exactly like me. I've got the charm, I've got the characteristics, the humour, and I love everything about myself, and I love everything about my life. So I'm going to enjoy everything that's coming ahead.
I'm Simon Aycock, the gym owner here at Fitness Factory Birmingham, and I train a lot of the bare knuckle fighters and boxers here. Where do you want to start? He came here a few years ago. I think he was off, I think it was some of his BKB fights. He came to us first of all for strength and conditioning. I think he wanted to be a bit more physical, because it's very different. I think Connor's got a massive amateur background, and I think going into BKB, the first thing you realise is the physical change. It's a lot more physical, it's a lot more hard hitting, and I think he just felt like he wanted to develop himself physically. So we did a few sort of 12 months or so like that, and then he just said he wanted to come here full time and he wanted to do everything with him. I think first fight he won the prize fighter, so it wasn't a bad start by any means. And I think and then he won his world title, so we've sort of got a good rapport now and working well together. His technique, he's got it well drilled. That's not us. That's he's schooled by possibly one of the best in the country, in Frank Sullivan's. I mean, he's had them all go through there. It's a very good technique, very good style. I think Connor's got that drilled into him. He worked with a guy, Pete Williams, for many years. Again, awesome at drilling that real basic technique in. And I think that's what he's got. He's got the fundamentals right. It's great movement. He's got a lovely jab. He's got a great overhand when he catches you with it. And he's good. He's tall. He's good. He's got a lot of attributes there. I think he's got problems with his hands and stuff, so he knows he hasn't got long, maybe 2-3 years he's got in the sport before, if you push it. And he wants to achieve something in that amount of time. You can understand he's a young lad. He's got great talent. No reason why he can't succeed at anything he wants to do. Just got to focus. I said to him when he called me, I said, okay, this is your moment now. Don't fuck it up. This is quite simple as that. If he concentrates, and he has to switch on. With Connor, he switches off a lot, and that's probably his biggest downfall. He switches off. If he stays switched on, he'll go far. And I think he'll be a real handful for some of the Americans. I think he's got the style. I think he's got what it needs at the moment to cause them a lot of problems with his movement. I think he could do really well.
I reckon 3 years I could really dominate the scene in America. I can't see anyone that's going to give me trouble. There will be, but right now I think that physically, mentally and intellectually I am going to go out there and be the better fighter, especially with the ring experience. I've got the ring craft. A lot of these are MMA fighters, a lot of these are backyard brawlers. They haven't seen nothing yet, trust me. And I think watch when I take over, I think I'll be the global superstar. I keep saying to people, my friends, global superstar pending. So yeah, keep an eye out for me, because you know the biggest, baddest Brumtown bomber, Tierney, will be coming to a TV near you.